All right. So do you practice first? All right. Here we go. Number one, oh, I'm sorry. Letter A is reflection. That's all you need on that one is reflection. Oh, hi, Juliana. Letter B is translation. C, rotation. D, translation and reflection. They can be in either order, by the way. It doesn't have to be in one particular direction. Letter E is rotation and reflection. All right. Juliana, you didn't hear, but I think your brother may have said something to you because I mentioned it to them. We might try to switch to Zoom, which is a different way of meeting. It seems to work better as far as the quality of picture and everything, but you can't do it, I know, until your dad does for this thing, you know, what he needs to do. And he didn't meet this morning, but, you know, afterward I met with some just to test it. And that's same thing for everybody. So I don't know, how many of you have Zoom on yours? Does anybody?
I do.
You do, Katie? Okay. And then what about you, Andre? Do you or Eric?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, it's really easy. It's just like Skype. As far as downloading it, you just download it. And then I had sent the information for that meeting on the Skype chat room. So it was easy to get to, but it's basically the same meeting number each time. And then I let you into the room when it's time for class. And it's a much, much clearer picture. It's not as, like right now, some of you I can't see. Like Eric, do you have your camera on or off?
Off. I have it off.
Oh, okay. So with you guys, it hasn't been too much of a problem. You guys haven't been kicked off very often, except when somebody, you know, like accidentally forgets to charge their phone or something like that. But that's going to happen either way. But anyway, so that's what we may do. All right. Did anybody get a check mark?
Me, Andre, you.
Andre, Juliana, Brianna. Anybody else? Okay. Good, Juliana. I better wipe the color off because otherwise I'm going to forget. All right. You up there? You're up to 2 purples now. Oh, that sounds like Juliana's cousins.
Yeah,
All right.
baby.
You're the only one that has actual little children in their house. That's why it's easy to tell. I guess Katie has a snotty-nosed little brother, but he doesn't sound like that anyway. Is that right, Katie?
Sometimes he does.
Sometimes he does? Okay. Yeah, I guess he can't have that kind of voice. It kind of gets annoying after a while. All right, here we go with the lesson. By the way, don't forget, today is evens only. I forgot about that. I didn't tell the 5th grade either. I should put that on the chat room. Maybe later when I do it. All right, so here we go. All right, number 1 is 30. 2, 9 games. 3, 9 over 13. 4 is 12.56 feet. 5 is 18. 6 is 24. 7. So basically, the 2 things you're going to do is translate and rotate, or rotate and translate, either way, either direction you want to say it. Number 8 is 35. Number 9, A is 1.4 and B is 140%. 10A is 6 over 25 and B is 24%. 11A is 7 over 20 and B is 0.35. 12 is 6 and 1/8. 13 is 1. 14 is 12.41. 15 is 7.5. Any questions?
Mr. Jones, what was 9?
9, what A was 1.4 and B is 140%. Okay. All right. Number 16 is is 17 cents. 17 is 1 over 1,000. 18 is 0.3, 0.305, and 0.31. 19 is 1,000 cubic centimeters. 20 is 45. I'm sorry, 20 is 17. 21 is 45. 22 is 30 degrees. 23 is 100 millimeters. 24 is 550 square millimeters. 25 is 16 pounds. 26 is 160 square millimeters. 27 is 1,000 milliliters. 28 is 1/2. 29 is 1,500 meters. And 30 is an obtuse angle. Any questions?
What was 23?
23 was 100 millimeters. All right. All right, Eric, what'd you get?
27.
Okay, Juliana?
25.
Andre?
30.
Full lesson or half?
Full.
All right, let me fill out the form. Half lesson pass for you. Katie
25 and a half.
and Brianna.
30.
Full lesson also?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so let's go ahead on to the next lesson, 109. Corresponding parts and similar triangles. All right. So yesterday we talked about how to make a triangle, what you have to do to move it when they are congruent and to fit on top of each other. Yeah, okay. So the first one is talking about finding the parts that are the same. And that's the idea of what you're using the rotation, translation, and reflection for, is to see which part is going to match up with the other part. Now, when you have a 90-degree angle, it makes it easy, okay? Generally, a 90-degree angle, you can tell where the short bottom that's connected to the 90-degree and where the tall side that connected to the 90-degree angle is located. So like in example 1, you see that the 3 inches is connected to the short part of the line that's connected to the right angle. All right, and then the long part is 4 inches. And you notice that the 4 inches matches up with this triangle on the right, so that is 4 inches, and that's the same thing as the side, and that's the one that connects to the angle, I mean the right angle. And so that bottom one then, that means that bottom one is totally, they're asking for the perimeter, so you add up 3 plus 4 plus 5, which comes out to 12 inches. Does everybody understand what they're doing there? It's pretty simple. Any questions on that? Everybody's good? Okay. All right. So similar triangles then. Figures that are the same shape but not necessarily the same size are similar. It's like somebody took something and then just I'm trying to do a triangle, just shrank it so that it would be the similar shape but just in a different size than what they had. So there they show you that triangles 1 and 2 are similar to each other. They are also congruent, so they're exactly the same. Any congruent triangle is always going to be similar. But then it says that congruent figures are the same shape and the same size. Triangle 3 is similar to triangles 1 and 2. It is also the same shape, but not the same size. So that one basically is proportional to the other triangles, okay? But then look at triangle 4. Triangle 4, not even close to being similar to any of those other triangles. And so it's a different shape altogether. There is no 90-degree angle in that. In fact, that looks like an equilateral triangle where all three angles are the same exact measurement. Sorry. All right, so look at example 2. Example 2 says the two triangles are similar. They are similar, okay? So it says, what is the measure of angle A? Now, you see where angle A is on that one on the left. On the right, they've got the measurement of the different degrees of the triangle. If you add all those up, always, by the way, inside of a triangle, the three angles added together always equal 180 degrees. Okay, you notice that that was something else we just discussed a few days ago, and that was with a straight line. The measurement of a straight line is 180 degrees, you know, from one, measure from one angle to the other, flat from the middle. That's 180 degrees. Same thing with a triangle. The three angles in the middle are going to equal 180 degrees. So what they did was they rotated the triangle, the one that's similar on the left. They rotated it and then reflected it. So flipped it over so it looks exactly similar, standing exactly similar to the other ones. Now you know where angle A is at the top, which is the 30-degree angle, and so that would be your answer. Okay? Simple enough? All right, so let's try something then. You're going to assume, in spite of what my triangles look like, that they're similar, okay? Okay, I want you to give me a perimeter of this. These are equal. These are congruent triangles. So I want you to give me the measurements of them. Okay, they're congruent. They are congruent. That means they're equal to each other. So give me the perimeter. Give me the perimeter of one triangle. Yes, who's calling me? Katie?
I can't see you.
At all?
Nope.
Okay. See, that's another reason I want to try Zoom too, because I'll bet you that will make a difference. It seemed like everybody else I could see, and that was another problem I was having with the 5th grade. There were several of them I could never get a picture for them. Even the ones that turned them on, it was hard to get a picture for them. And so, and like right now, I can't see Eric and I can't see Andre. So Brianna and Juliana, turn your cameras off. I think it worked yesterday for Katie. And now I can see Eric. So Eric, can you see me now?
Yes, I can see you now.
All right, there we go. Then we'll do it like this. You ready? All right, so you're going to give me the perimeter of this triangle. One of those triangles, give me the perimeter. They're equal triangles, congruent.
Of both together or of one of them?
No, just one of them, because they're congruent. So each one is going to be, I just want the perimeter for one of them.
Do we have to turn it out loud?
What's that?
Do you have to say it out loud?
No, that's correct, Brianna. You can turn your camera off afterward. That's correct, Eric. Hey, Katie, I can see you. That's correct. So Andre and Juliana.
I know it. I can't find my whiteboard.
Wait till Juliana gives her answer. Do you have yours yet, Juliana?
Yeah.
That's correct. Okay, what'd you get, Andre?
30, 30, whatever the label was. 30,
30 centimeters. Yeah,
centimeters.
that's correct. Okay, all right. So let's go on then to language. So first thing I want you to do is get your syllabuses out and write down quiz. What is it? 7, 11, 12, 11, I think it is, right? You guys have a quiz. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's quiz 11. You guys have a test coming up here shortly. Yes, quiz 11 is today. All right. So let's go ahead and look at what you were supposed to do yesterday. Were any? I don't think any of these were for points, were they? It was just the bottom, correct?
Yeah.
All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post on the chat room a picture of the answers, and you guys can just check them yourself. Oh, we did. Oh, no, it's just 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. That's right. Okay, so we'll do 2 first. All right. So 2, I'm just going to show it to you. There's 2 right there. So check that one against what you have. Okay, and there's 4. Two and 4 are kind of showing right now. All right, and then that's 6, correct?
That's 7.
Oh, 6 down here. Yep. Okay, 6. And then 8 is right here. And then 10 over there. All right, is that good? Does anybody need it for more time?
No.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on then. Next page, 184. All right. Woo! All right, so let's look at the first part here. What they are doing is they've taken this paragraph and they've separated it into 6 numbers. And so for each of those numbers, you're going to tell whether that section, whether it is a sentence, a fragment, or a run-on, okay? And the idea here was what we were going to correct it to fix it the way it is. So let's read the whole thing together first. Once considered to be flat, the Earth is now known to be a sphere that is slightly flattened at its poles. Before Columbus's journey, explorers feared that they might drop off the edge of the world if they sailed too far. Some even imagined fierce dragons waiting under the earth to devour them. In light of those fears, we realize how brave Christopher Columbus really was. He really was. He dared to go against the tide of ignorance and superstition. All right. So, number 1, what is that? Sentence, fragment, or run-on? We'll do Katie. We'll do Katie
Run-on?
first. We'll do Katie first. So Katie, microphone. Okay.
It's a run-on.
It is not a run-on. It's once considered to be flat, and it stops there. That's
Oh,
not a run-on.
it's a fragment.
It's gonna be a fragment, right? All right. And then number 2, Andre.
It's a sentence.
It is a sentence. Yeah, the Earth is now known to be a sphere that is slightly flattened at its poles. Is a sentence. All right. Number 3, Eric.
Run on.
Nope, not a run-on. Brianna?
A sentence.
It is a sentence. Yeah, before Columbus's journey, explorers feared that they might drop off the edge of the world. That's a perfectly fine sentence there. All right, how about number 4, Juliana?
Fragment.
Yeah, it is a fragment. If they sailed too far, by itself is just a fragment. Number 5, some even imagined fierce dragons wading under the earth to devour them. What do you think about that one, Eric?
Run on.
Couldn't hear you.
Run on.
Why do you think it's a run-on, just out of curiosity?
I don't know.
Let me explain to you how a run-on usually will show up as a run-on. You have 2 different types of run-on and run together, but a run-on sentence will basically mean that it has no punctuation, or it has, I'm sorry, it's 2 sentences put together without a comma and a conjunction, or without a semicolon. Okay, does that make sense? So does that happen in sentence 5?
No.
Right. So they're a perfectly good sentence. It's a complete thought, makes perfect sense. Number 6, Andre, what do you think about number 6?
A run-on
Yes, it is a run-on. Why is it a run-on?
because it has no conjunction.
Yeah, there's no conjunction. So how could you fix that without putting a conjunction in?
Don't put the comma.
Well, if you don't put the comma, it's still a run-on.
Yeah.
Anybody
I
else
don't
have an
know.
idea? What could you do instead of putting a conjunction after the comma, which would fix it, but what else could you do to fix it? You guys don't remember?
You could put a semicolon.
Yeah, you put a semicolon instead, okay? You put the semicolon, and that takes care of the need there to make that a run. What about at the beginning? What could you do to fix sentence 1? And you would use sentence 2 to help you do that. What would you do?
Put a comma.
Okay? And then connect it to the other sentence in lowercase, the T and the?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you would have a sentence like this. Once considered to be flat, comma, the Earth is now known to be a sphere that is slightly flattened at its poles. And that makes perfect sense, too. How about 3 and how about, 4, which is a fragment. What could you do with that one?
Connect it to sentence 3.
Yeah, you would just take out the period there, change the I on the if to a lowercase, and it would read, before Columbus's journey, explorers feared that they might drop off the edge of the world if they sailed too far. And it makes perfect sense there together, okay? So, all right, on capitalization and punctuation in the middle, I want, let's see, we're missing Eric. I don't know where he went. Katie, would you do 1, Juliana 2, Brianna 3, and Andre 4? So just go ahead and work on those, and then I'll give you a minute to underline, or it says mark
Mr.
each incorrect.
Jones,
Well,
is it for the sentence or the capitalization and punctuation part?
capitalization and punctuation. We just did the sentence together.
Okay.
Yeah, the capitalization and punctuation at the bottom. Just put 3 lines under the letter that needs to be capitalized.
Okay.
Wait, I do 1 or 2? I forgot.
You're doing 2.
Oh.
So you also have to do punctuation, not just capitalization. Don't forget. All right, Katie, you ready with number 1 yet? Microphone.
I'm ready.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So you capitalize Brooklyn Bridge,
Okay.
and then East River, and then New York City.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you got them exactly right. Those are all things that should be capitalized. No punctuation needs to be added. How about number 2, Juliana?
Capitalize Victory Christian School.
Okay.
Bernard Olson.
That's
on the
Bernard.
H.
Bernard Olson, okay. Is that it?
There's a period at the end.
Okay. Period after what?
At the end.
Okay. Yeah, there's also a period after the PH because that stands for PH stands for physical, D stands for doctor. And then there's also should be something else there. Does anybody know what it should be?
No.
Should be a comma after Olson. So Bernard Olson should be capitalized, comma, PH period, D period.
Oh.
All right. And then how about number 3? Who was that?
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
Nonfiction, Christian fiction. Comma after report. Mr. Levinson, and a period after Mr.
Well, that's Mrs., not Mr.
Oh,
And what would you all you did was read nonfiction and Christian. What did that mean?
they have to be capitalized.
Yes, but not the fiction part. Fiction should not. Nonfiction is capitalized because it's one word. Christian is capitalized because the word is Christian. Did you get a comma after nonfiction?
No.
Should be a comma after nonfiction. Should be a comma after the word fiction in Christian fiction, and classic books. And you said a comma after report, but because you have a list of things in one of the sentences, the rule is you're supposed to use a semicolon to connect the two sentences together so that you don't confuse it with the other things that have commas in them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So that's the that is the way to make sure you do that. Okay. How about number 4? Go ahead, Andre.
I had a problem with this one.
What do you mean?
I could only find 2
2 what?
capitalizations, no punctuations. I can't find them.
Okay. Just read the sentence out loud without stopping, except for punctuation. There is none, but.
It was, of course, a useless question my Uncle Mike had mentioned just a few minutes before.
Okay. So what does it sound like to you, that kind of sentence that is?
A run-on?
Yeah, it is a run. Well, it's run on. Yeah, you could say run on. So how could you fix that as a run on? Where would your sentences be divided?
After mentioned.
Okay, so so it just a few minutes before makes sense to you as a sentence?
Oh, it's
Still working on it? So let me read it to you and then see if you can hear where the sentence should finish. It was, of course, a useless question. My Uncle Mike had mentioned it just a few minutes before. So what'd you find?
I still can't find anything. I'm sorry.
Somebody else want to help him? Nobody wants to help him, huh? Poor guy. Nobody wants to help you, Andre. Okay, so go ahead.
Is there like a comma after had?
So you're saying it was, of course, a useless question my Uncle Mike had, comma,
No,
mentioned
no,
it just a
no.
few minutes before. Yeah, that would make sense.
A comma after course.
Yes, and also
Of course.
before, of course. So, of course, is one of those unnecessary parenthetical statements. And so that's, you can take that out. It was a useless question. You could say, so of course should be in parentheses together. Okay, so it's separated by parentheses.
Mr.
It's like
Jones?
a direct address type of thing. Yes, go ahead, Katie.
Your screen keeps going green. Like
Oh,
it goes like fully green, and
well,
then
it's
it
like,
just comes back.
it is my favorite color. Yeah, this is another reason why I want to switch to Zoom. It seems to be having difficulties for a whole bunch of people. Wow. Music too. We're gonna end that. There we go. Okay. So anyway, back to the number 4. Can anybody figure out where the period goes in there? There are 2 sentences there. Where does the period go? No guesses, huh? You guys are sharp. Okay. All right. So, of course, should be in parentheses around both sides. It was, of course, a useless question, period. My should be capitalized. Uncle Mike should be capitalized. Okay, so you put a period after question, and my, because it's the beginning of the sentence, and Uncle Mike, because it's the name of a person, should be capitalized. All right. All right, everybody do number 5. Let's see how well you're doing it. And a homework pass for the person who gets it perfectly right. First, I'm trusting you to be honest about it. I'll even give you a hint. You guys like a hint?
Yes.
There are 6 things that you need to do. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Well, that's one person. Is that it?
No.
Okay. I'll give you another 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, something like that. All right, who muted my microphone? Somebody did. Are you ready, Brianna?
Yeah.
How about you, Juliana?
Yeah.
How about you, Andre?
Yeah.
And Katie, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. So there should be a colon between the 6 and the 1 on 615. You should have Gulf Wind capitalized. You should have Ithaca Avenue capitalized. And you should have a line under Gulf Wind, underlined under Gulf Wind.
Probably got it.
I got it.
Who got it? Katie?
Yeah.
All right. I'll throw that pass in the next envelope. Of course, I've got a whole bunch of envelopes for you now.
Mr. Jones, also, you never gave me the 3 homework passes for coming to that meeting after school thing. Well,
For what
with
meeting
the
that-
missionaries. For the missionaries, you never gave me the other 3.
For way
'Cause
back
I
then? And now you're telling me about it?
I
was
told
like-
you about it, but you never really.
That was in February, girl.
I know.
How do I know I didn't give it to you?
Because you said that you didn't have any yet and you needed to print it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. You need some passes too, don't you?
Not really, but I guess.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just keep them.
No, thank you.
I'll write them out for you then. Usually I would have written them out for you and just put it on your desk if you weren't there or something like that. But if I didn't have them. All right. So your assignment for tonight is a couple of things. First of all, you're going to finish this one, 6 through 10. It is for points. So pay close attention to it. This is going to be one of the more difficult things on the test. So I really want you to work hard on it and focusing on all the capitalization and punctuation. And also, you're going to do using verbs, not using nouns, just using verbs, and that's going to be for points as well. Okie doke. Any questions? Guys are good? All right.
Yeah.
So, Katie, you have Zoom.
Well,
Alright.
I don't have an account or anything. I just have it, like, I can download it. It's possible for me to download it.
Yeah, and that's going to be a case for anybody. Whenever you download it, you have to kind of create your own little account like you did for Skype. And so it'll be the same thing. But we're going to try to get this. Well, hi. Welcome back, Eric. You just missed the assignment I just gave you. You may have to go back and watch the video again a little bit for some of the answers. But on page 184, number 6 through 10 is going to be homework on capitalization, punctuation. And then using verbs on page 185. You're not doing using nouns at all, but both of those are for points, okay? Make sense, Eric?
Yep.
Okay. So, and as I was saying, if you guys get ready, we can do a test tomorrow after class in order to see how you're doing, see if you can get Zoom downloaded. I will send you the count number that I have, the meeting number it'll be. It's called a meeting number. And the password that goes with it, okay, so that you guys can make sure that you're ready for that, so that we can try to get it so that everybody can see me and I can see everybody all at the same time. All right. So I'll set that up for tomorrow. All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right. Oh, don't forget, do quiz 11.
Mr. Jones.
Put that on. Yes.
When I got my packet, I never got my math test. I have the math sheet, but I don't have the math.
I mentioned that yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually put a picture of it up on the chat room for the 5th and 6th grade in Skype. So there's a picture of it there if you want to print one out, or if you just want to use that picture when the time comes, or if you want, I can just text you a picture of it.
Okay.
Which one do you want?
Can you send me a picture of it?
Who is that? Who's me?
Juliana.
Juliana, thank you. Because I can't see any of your pictures right now, so that's why I was asking. So Juliana, you want it? All right.
Yeah.
And then who else?
Can I get it too?
Andre Juice.
So
Me too.
Brianna, and then Eric.
Katie.
I think I have it. I will text you back if I don't have it.
Okay, got you. I don't think anybody does, Eric. Nobody has it. Because I forgot to put them in.
Andre just left.
Okay, and then what about you, Katie? Do you want it too?
Sure.
All right. All right, that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Mr. Jones, what happened to
Yeah.
Emma?
Emma withdrew her mom. She was talking about withdrawing her for a couple weeks now. I think that for a lot of families, there have been about 11 or 12 that have withdrawn because they've lost their jobs, at least temporarily. And so it was like immediately for one family, they had to right away because the mom had lost her job, and that was how they paid for school. So So that's why they couldn't keep going. So there have been a total of about 11 students that have withdrawn. And Emma's mom was one of those that withdrew all 3 of their kids. So that's where she is. Unfortunately, I hate losing students, especially toward the end of the year.
So I guess we're not going on that field trip.
What
Because
field trip?
Remember?
The one you mean the one for Family Fun Center?
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Because Governor Jay Inslee announced that nobody's going back to school for the rest of the year.
Well, that might be, but it won't. It would be after school was done. I would kind of try to do it during the summer. I think you were absent when I mentioned it last week or week before. When they
Yeah.
first announced that, I said, hey, I still want to do it, but we just may do it after school is done, like sometime in June. If they as soon as they let everybody go back to doing things, I would like to do it even if it was during the summertime. So that's my plan anyway. Does that sound doable for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll send that picture then of the test, and if I can find it again. I just took it. I'll just take another picture. I know I sent it already. I think it was just on Skype that I did it, so I probably need to put it on my regular phone. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
All right. Bye.